Welcome to Real Estate Unleashed. I am Regan Hildebrand with the Home Team Realty. You can find me on social media at Realtor Regan.
And I am Bridget Quinn, your other co-host. You can find me on all social media, B Quinn Realtor.
Bridget, happy golden anniversary. This is episode 50. 50, the big 50. We've made it.
Do you feel old?
I always feel old, even outside of recording a podcast. Yeah. But yeah, we're at 50 episodes today. Thank you all. If you've watched all 50, you get a special little reward. Message
Bonus
us
points.
but you have to have proof. You have to be able to.
You have to watch and comment on every single video.
And you have to give answer a quiz. It is 150 questions. Trivia.
Is it a quiz to find out what type of bread you are?
What kind of fan you are? So we're at episode 50. We thought it'd be appropriate today to talk about all things golden, since it is our golden anniversary.
You're so golden.
We're golden.
Golden girls, hopefully one day.
Yeah. We missed the opportunity to do like a golden girl theme.
We did. But we both got the Star Wars theme.
At least we're consistent.
Today. Yes.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so with everything golden, the big question is, what is the golden rule of real estate?
As an agent or on like the buyers and sellers side?
Yes.
Golden rule for me: don't be a douchebag.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb. Don't be mean. Be one of those.
Yeah. Don't be one of those.
You know what I mean? Just don't.
Yeah.
Like, I hate working with I'm very fortunate that 99% of the agents on the other side of the deals are even negotiating, even if you don't get the deal. Like, most of them have been phenomenal, but there's always a few that you're like,
yeah. And it's hard to bite your own tongue and like
sure,
to follow that,
because you want to remain professional and do what you need to do because you're there for your client.
Yeah. And I had this exact thing pop up. I'm glad you said that about don't be the douche. The same thing popped up yesterday. I have some buyers who are absolutely wonderful about everything, and they're trying to do the right thing and be very very easy to work with on all sides, right? And they put forth what was a very strong offer on a property and presented it to the other agent, and we got initially crickets back as a response, but then got a response that they had accepted another offer, which is fine. However, we felt like we weren't really given any feedback, like the do unto others type of thing. Like, I would want feedback, so I'm going to give feedback because I want feedback.
Yeah, or were you even told that there was other offers on the table? Or
yeah, we had a little heads up, very short, and I had to scramble. So, And I get it, things happen fast in real estate.
Yeah.
But the real catch was, like, then we got a call after we told, no, your offer wasn't accepted. I got a call later that evening that the other offer fell through. And now the sellers wanted to consider my buyer's offer. They asked for some changes, countered, essentially. And I went back to my clients to talk about it. Long story short, we were still in the middle of talking about things and working things through with the other side, the sellers and the listing agent. And then out of nowhere, in the evening, the property's marked under contract. And we weren't given any notice at a time. And my clients find out from a Zillow notification.
See, I hate that. That drives me nuts. Like, as a listing agent, like, I will not change the status to that until I know that everybody has submitted an offer, or even those that have inquired about it very seriously have been notified.
Yeah.
It's just so wrong.
I think that's the embodiment of what you're talking about.
I hate it.
Just do unto, like, if I'm on that other side,
sure,
then I know how people feel. Like, you want to act quickly, I get it, and you don't want to leave anything as a question mark.
Right.
But to your point, it's easy to send a text or an email, however you need to do it, to say we went another direction. sorry, best of luck.
Yeah.
Not a
Now,
peep.
then as the other
Yeah.
agent, if you're not telling your clients, that's your own problem.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think. Yeah. I think
I
that.
think we both have seen and read and dealt with some shady shenanigans.
That's one S word for it. Yeah.
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 That you know how you want it to be or how you want it to go, and to try to avoid that.
Just bad feelings. Yeah. And
Yes.
the other problem is that we talk about this a ton. You tend to run into the same people down the road, and I think there's some karma that pops up, right? And not out of maliciousness. It just eventually you're going to regret not doing the right thing by somebody if you're.
Well, it's not to say you don't make mistakes, but if you don't have those good intentions, I think that's
Yeah. Yeah. It's really hard to survive in this game too as an agent if you're not being as cooperative as possible.
sure.
And for the buyers and the sellers out there, I think everyone just wants it that way. Like they want to know that things are going to be done above board and at a high standard.
Sure.
And it gets frustrating if we're operating at the highest
Well,
standard
yeah,
we
I have
can.
my list of who I don't want to work with, and I'm sure the public goes, well, this happened, or I hear about this, or I've dealt with them before. I definitely don't want to work with them again. Been there, done that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and I put on my broker in charge hat, and I think as far as the one who is responsible for our firm, I want our firm's reputation to reflect
that higher standard.
the highest possible standard. I want our firm to be thought of across the board as a firm full of agents that do the right thing.
Sure.
Yeah, and aren't being douchey. Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So what else, I guess, on a spin of that, what else would you say is maybe another golden rule or rule? I don't know where that accent came from.
Rule.
Rule.
Rule. That is not an Irish accent.
One ring to rule them all. Oh, we could have done that too.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I think it's important to be golden, like to get all your ducks in a row. Like that's
So golden.
to be gold, like to gold medal standard, right? And because
The Midas touch.
yeah, and sometimes that means working cooperatively. Sometimes it just means reviewing everything. We do a lot of forms. You and I were talking off camera right before here. You asked me to take a second set of
Yeah,
eyes.
just because again, like maybe the public doesn't know, but every year, July, we get updated forms, and maybe it's just a little bit of word change, or maybe they delete this section or add a new section. So this is the first one that I've done as a listing agreement since the changes have done, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check to make sure that, again, I'm above board, everything is done to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Again, we still make mistakes, but it's just that initial something has changed, so I'm going to be extra due diligent about it.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the nice thing about what we have going. Not only just you and I as broker in charge, you're a coach for our firm as
Right.
well, but all of our agents here, I think we work in that cooperative sense.
Sure.
If we need a second set of eyes, whether it be forms or, hey, take a look at this property for me.
Or
see if you-
situations.
situational. Like, that's the gold standard to me
Right,
of just being the best possible team that you can be.
right.
So yeah, I think that's the other gold piece. But I also think about we're talking a little bit before we started filming.
We were talking a lot before
A-
we
a
started
lot.
filming.
But we were mentioning I think you said the golden calf of real estate.
Oh, yeah.
Like what's the idol, or what's the I don't know. I don't want to say golden calf. Almost like what's the third rail, like nobody wants to touch, like nobody wants to deal with in real estate. And it popped in my head, like we talk about forms and properties and all this stuff, but one thing that doesn't ever get mentioned, like that everyone does idolize a little bit, is the commission piece, the money piece of real estate,
Sure.
right?
I mean, as we've talked about this before, like, to say that you do it for the money, I think you're doing it for the wrong reasons there, right? Money is an end result of doing a good job and working with people and doing it because you love it. I definitely feel like it comes to you in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I feel like you have to do it for the right reasons,
Yeah.
not just showcasing, hey, I'm here making a ton of money. I
Right.
don't know. That's.
It's
I
hard
think
to
that's what draws people in,
a lot
right?
of
Because
times.
they assume it's easy money, that it's a quick fix. I get, you know, oh, she's out there selling $600,000 homes left, right, and center.
Yeah.
I wish, but there's more to it than just that.
There's a lot more to it, and it's there's a lot of facets to it. But when you talk about the commission dollars and all that stuff, people sometimes, as professionals on it, they kind of step back. They're like, they tiptoe around it because they don't want the consumer to see what's behind the curtain. And I think you and I know this well from having to explain it to people up front,
Right.
but there is a rationale behind it all.
Sure.
And I am perfectly willing to negotiate on any numbers,
Mm-hmm.
on any side of things. But I think the transparency that we
Yeah.
do is key. Like,
Forthcoming.
yeah, it's not hiding things. I unfortunately saw advice given from one agent to other agents very recently that said, "Don't give away your commissions," which is a way of basically saying don't negotiate on that side, and charge your transaction fees to your clients. For those that don't know, in real estate we have some back end fees.
Sure.
We have to
The
pay for
cost of business.
it's the cost of business. We pay for what we do,
Right.
and a lot of times firms will charge what's called a transaction fee from the firm to the agent.
Right.
So that's the agent's expense.
Right.
And this other agent, not operating inside of our firm, was saying charge that fee to your clients. And I think that's getting a little, it's beyond the pale. Like it's just a little, everything, there is no standard. There's
You
no,
can
like,
do it, but are you telling your clients, or are you explaining that additional provision that's going to be in that agreement that says, hey, you're being charged this fee?
yeah,
We talk about some of those www website sellers or things that'll buy your house. Are you asking the questions about those
fees.
fees?
Yeah, they add up. And honestly, I think this is personal opinion. Again, there is no set rate when it
No.
comes to commissions. That's if anybody tells you so, that's illegal. But I think personally that if we do the right thing and we structure our business the right way, we don't need to pass every little nickel and dime down to the clients.
No, not at all.
And I think that's where, to your earlier point about the greed, comes creeping in.
Sure.
So people don't like to talk about it, but I think it has to be talked about. Like every firm's different.
Right.
And if you're a client out there, potential customer, consumer of real estate, you need to ask the right questions.
Right.
That would be like the golden rule for the consumer side, in my point. Ask a lot of questions.
And as an agent, it's a golden rule that you have to figure out what works best for you. Do you pay more on the backside of things? Maybe you're getting leads, provided to you. Maybe you're having all these amenities or programs that ultimately you're paying for, so it's less commission for you. But maybe you're just paying a flat fee. It's just depends. You got to ask the right questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of structures out there. If you're a newer agent and you're watching this, I would hope that you also know like that every firm has some different pieces to it,
Sure.
different structures. There's no cookie cutter piece. But on the consumer side, there's also no cookie cutter contract you have to sign,
No.
whether it is to sell your house or to buy another one.
Right.
Everything's negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to follow the golden rule, going back to your earlier point of don't be douchey
No, don't. That's
on
a simple
anything.
one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
kill them with kindness.
Yeah. Yeah. But that I think is pretty. We could go on and on about like the
Yeah.
little nitpicky things,
can
but
rant.
we've had 50 episodes to really like fill a lot of content.
Sure.
And the other thing that I think we're really excited to announce is we're going to switch up a little bit now. So episode 51 might be a little different timing. Yeah, we've got some exciting stuff planned beyond the golden anniversary.
Yes.
Yep. We're going to kind of change up the schedule, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to change it up a little bit. We want to get out and about a little bit more than just here in the studio, I guess I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll still be here, but we'd like to do more on location, a more relevant content that kind of changes, not really day to day, but more,
Yeah.
what's happening out there.
Yeah, we're going to get out and about. We've decided to wait until it was 100 plus degrees to go out, sensible.
Of course.
Uh, and yeah, maybe so these in studio episodes may be less frequent,
Right.
but interspersed with that will be more stuff on our social media
Right,
channel.
which is why it's important for you if you haven't already, started following us on things like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and all that stuff. So make
Hmm.
sure you YouTube, of
At
course,
Real Estate
at
Unleashed
Real Estate
on
Unleashed.
all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Get on there, follow us, give us a like. Also, of course, if you're not subscribed here already, maybe you're tuning in, episode 50 is your first one or whatever, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. And even if you are subscribed, give us a like. It helps a ton. And a comment. And
Oh, I
we
just did like I'm in Hawaii.
aloha, chill out,
Chill
cowabunga.
out.
Uh, but we can't wait to see what the next 50
Yeah.
things that we put out. Again, it might not be the same format.
Yeah, stuff will still not change. We'll still be wearing different
We'll
geeky
yeah,
stuff. I mean,
exactly.
we
As
are who we
geeky and
are.
nerdy as we can be. And we're excited to see what happens with all that. Put some comments down below about what kind of locations you'd like to see us cover.
Yeah.
If you're in North Carolina, tell us your favorite spots. If you're not in North Carolina, what would you like to know?
Yeah.
And we hope to see you out there. And as always, you can find me on social media at Realtor Regan.
And you can find me on social media, B Quinn Realtor. And I'm going to say this time, stay golden.